Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Trendy Indy. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me and I appreciate that. I'm your host, Jerry Gordon, your local real estate expert. And today I'm joined by James Porter, a man I hope you never have to call, but trust me, you will be lucky that you have him in your contacts. If an emergency ever comes up, this is James Porter with PorterHouse Contracting. I appreciate you being here.
Good morning, Jerry. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, and as you can see, we are in the midst of one of your projects right now. So can you just tell us a little bit about how you got started and a little bit about what you guys do?
Absolutely. So my career started about 25 years ago for a local restoration company out of Noblesville.
Okay.
Worked there for 16 years, head kind of hit the ceiling. I took a director's position for a local franchise for 3 years. After that, I ran a larger local restoration company, the emergency service division, for 4 years.
Okay.
At that point, I realized that the contracts and the contacts calling in were wanting my name and didn't care too much about the logo I was wearing. So I decided to start my own business, and we're on our 3rd year now. Been very busy, been very blessed, and we're moving every day.
Again, that's James Porter with PorterHouse Contracting. So are you guys strictly residential?
No, we'll do commercial as well.
Okay.
So as far as restoration is concerned, we're a turnkey operation, okay? So whether it's residential or commercial, if you have a fire or a flood, we're going to come in, help with the extraction, sanitizing. Insurance is generally involved, can be a little touchy there, and then gets right into the repair side. So it can be as simple as some baseboard and paint, or it could be, as we see here, basically a whole house remodel.
And as you can see, and as you can imagine, this is why I'm saying make sure you get James's number. But problems never occur at a good time. They always occur at the worst time imaginable. So what advice would you give to someone who wakes up and has flooding or just some type of emergency in their home?
Good question. First, have my number saved in their cell phone for assistance. Primary one.
Yep.
After that, know your house. Okay, so understand where the breaker box is, how breakers function and operate. Understand where the water main is. Okay, how do you turn off the water to the house?
Yep.
If that's not working, well, unfortunately, you're going to watch it get wet a little bit longer until we can get a licensed plumber out there. I'm not going to give advice to go to the curb and turn it off with a key or anything like that.
So do you strictly do only just water damage?
No, we handle mold restoration and abatement as well.
Okay.
Fire restoration, we get a lot of lightning strikes or dryers catch fire, just no good news, okay? On the heels of that, there's always a repair. So as a turnkey operation, we have people that are calling us back after years of service and work that I haven't had a flood, but I would like my bathroom remodeled. So we also do kitchen and bathroom remodels.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that you're not just waiting around for problems to happen. So tell me a little bit about what a typical day looks like for you.
It's kind of busy as an owner-operator. So my day starts around 4:30 in the morning. I get up and I spend the first 30 minutes to myself, and then I'm down at my desk in my home office, focusing on emails that I missed from about 8 p.m. till 4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Operations and schedule tweaks from about 6 to 7:30. Start calling the guys, making sure we're on the same page. We don't have any sleepy heads. Generally on the road from my office about 9 a.m. on site, looking at appointments for estimating purposes, quality assurance, or anywhere in between. That generally lasts until about 4 to 6 in the evening. Round off, final day of communications, what was successful for the day, what are we planning on the next day, who needs to know what, and do they have all the materials they need. We wind down about 8 p.m.
And I know that you're very hands-on, but I also know that you are extremely thorough with your whole entire process. So do you get to handle a lot of cool equipment?
We do. We're very fortunate with the amount of equipment we have and the type. So as an owner-operator, I've worked for 3 pretty successful companies, so I've got to see exactly what I like and don't like. So buying for PHC out here, I get to cherry pick all the good stuff. So I feel like all of our fans our air movers are high end. They're all low amperage. We can daisy chain them. In the industry, that means plugging one into the other.
Right.
So we can be more efficient. So we're not having to call out electricians for a flood this size. We can handle it ourselves. We also have very high-end, nice air scrubbers. So if we're using those for dust control, On a kitchen or bathroom remodel, it's nice to have those because we use them in mold abatement. So if I was only doing kitchen and bathroom remodels, I wouldn't have some of the equipment that I have that I can use as little perks to help out on the burden of construction.
That's great. How like you can. There's a lot of overlappage there.
There really is. Same with odor control. We have specific devices like ozone generators to rid smell for fire restoration. It's also pretty handy for cigarette smoke.
Okay. And so you mentioned coming out, assessing it, and then you also mentioned insurance. So you come out and you assess the damage, but also people have insurance for obvious reasons. So do you deal with insurance companies?
We do, and that's a major component.
Okay.
So working with the insurance company, first we always remember we're the advocate for the customer. We're working for the property owner, the property tenant, whoever it might be in that situation that's paying the insurance policy, not the insurance company. The insurance company is reimbursing debt to that individual. So with that focus in mind, the direction we have is clear communication from start to finish.
Absolutely.
Set the level of expectations. The first level of expectations is things take longer with insurance than normal.
I can. Yeah.
We're just developing the scope of work, the budget, the monies, talk about what is pre-loss condition. That term comes up a whole lot in insurance claims. We also use the same software that most insurance companies use. It's called Xactimate. So when we're writing estimates and working with them and building that relationship, it's nice to have a software and a platform that's compatible to them, what they're used to seeing, industry standard pricing, and someone that knows how to write it in a format that they're going to be able to digest and get manager approval.
That's awesome. And so, having this experience for almost 25 years, I would say that I'd be willing to say that you have a lot of experience dealing with insurance companies as well.
We do. We do.
Now, one of the things I would say less glamorous parts of your job is that unfortunately people lose memories, inventories, and a lot of stuff. So what would you say, in your opinion, is one of the most fulfilling parts of your job?
Well, one, supporting them on day one is kind of nice. So to be that kind of crutch, if you would, when you're there, it's, there's a certain level of action that we bring on day one that is satisfying for folks. But once we're past that, there's always going to be the emotional stage for a few days.
Right.
Then we get into the really exciting part, the fun part. We're almost to that point on this project here, where we're past the burden of destruction and seeing how deep does this bruise go on the onion. Now we can start picking out paint colors, flooring selections, textures, countertops, things like that. And then we start putting those components together. So that final presentation, the big reveal, is always the best. Whether it's an insurance claim or an out-of-pocket, that's the best part.
That's what you get a lot of joy from, seeing people's eyes, getting excited, because I'm sure it goes from a whole transformation of extremely upset to kind of getting excited, as you said, and to picking out and kind of rebuilding their house.
Oh, absolutely. And when I reflect on projects or go back through correspondence, whether it's an email or a text message, you can really see that in the diary too. The emotion changes, the emojis people are using start changing. Nothing better than heart eyes and a picture of the kitchen you just finished or the wonderful shower you just gave them.
So let's switch a little bit, because you not only you also do kitchen and bathroom remodel. So tell us a little bit about that process. Well,
okay, it's a pretty detailed process. It takes most projects 2 to 4 weeks to organize and get the wishes on paper and proper scope. So if we're doing a kitchen or bathroom remodel, they're handled a little bit differently. Kitchen is functioning for the entire family. So I feel like when we're coming up with a kitchen layout, we need to have more involvement from even the kids, right? They have a say on where do they want their cereal bowl. They may not get the final goal, but that's a good influence there. On like a primary bathroom, get the couple in there, the individual, whoever it might be, and that's a very confined space in most instances. And you're really talking about, well, we're building it custom spec to you. So if you want one soap niche or two, I don't care. We'll give you either one. How high do you want it? Are you short? Do you like it here? Do you like it here? So that's nice. That really grows organically. So when we're doing custom showers, probably one of the most fun projects I have is designing a shower and giving them the shower, because all of a sudden you've had 30, 40, 50 years, however old you are, of taking showers. You're like, oh, I've always wanted this. I've always wanted that. And it seems more so with a shower than a kitchen. The kitchen functions, we're worried about birthday parties, but building a shower is a fun experience.
Yeah, I bet. So I've heard you talk about almost 25 years experience. About your communication. You've got experience with insurance companies. You do all these remodels. Is there anything more that why someone should look to you and to hire you?
Really, I would say it's for two reasons. The experience, we have a lot of experience, and everyone working under us has a lot of life experience, work experience, and they've been with me for around a decade or more. So,
Yep.
as I've been a business owner for 3 years, the individuals that I'm working with daily, I've been with for over a decade or more. So, that experience, and then the trust and confidence. Our name is on our logo.
Right.
We're a local company, so we're always worried about every last Google review, the experience, and the cycle time throughout it. So I would like to say we're kind of a step above when it comes to that personal touch.
So not only trust from your client, but it sounds like you have a lot of trust with your crew members as well.
Oh, absolutely. Our office is your home. So having everybody in a neat, clean, presentable fashion, showing up, ready to work, looking the look, and having that trust. If someone needs to leave for the day and we're still working in their house, there's everything around there. So trust is everything.
You mentioned Google reviews, and you also alluded to having your phone number. So how would someone get a hold of you or find you online?
You can find us on our website, PorterHouseContractingLLC.com.
That's LLC at the end.
That's correct, LLC at the end.
Okay.
.com. We have positive Google reviews out there. We're still working on a few other media sources.
Okay.
I find our pictures, when I take them, I'm a production guy. So I'm taking my photos with an iPhone.
You're used to getting your hands dirty. It's okay.
I am to a certain degree there, right? Then my guys will probably tell you a little bit different on some of that dirtiness. But we're working with some professional photographers to show some good impact photos, completion photos for a future Instagram and a future Facebook. So if you're looking on Instagram and Facebook, we have domains and things going there, but they're blank.
I will say that when you go to their website, you can expand a lot on the kitchen remodel, all of their services that they provide. One little section that I have is called Wins and Wines. Okay, so whether it be in the 25 years that you've been doing this or prior to that in your personal life, is there anything that you have found to be give you a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a win, or catch a break here and there to kind of feel like, you know what, I can stand my ground and this is kind of where my niche is?
Yeah, I would say the biggest win was kind of a late bloomer for starting my own business.
Okay.
So I feel like I got to cut my teeth elsewhere. The bad habits, the major mistakes, I feel are done. And we're going to have mistakes every day, but
Sure.
I feel like the most massive, embarrassing ones that, your learning curve mistakes were past when I started. So I feel like that it was probably the biggest win.
Okay. Now, on the flip side of that, because I always say wins and wines, is there something that comes to top of mind where you say, you know what, I don't know if this is what I want to do? You may go home and whine at the end of the night.
There are, and that would come back to how long the days can be and are. I enjoy the grind as well, but as an owner operator, that personal touch and to stand behind that means the communications are there and they don't stop. So the tether to the cell phone, I think, would be the biggest whine, but it's hard to complain about it when that's our business model.
And I can tell you, because obviously customer service, brand, your name and your reputation is behind that, I can empathize a lot with that. Being tethered to your phone, you've got a lot of people that have, and that's why you mentioned earlier about setting those expectations. So I can empathize a lot with you about how making sure that's all juggling and you don't drop a ball. So yeah, I definitely know where you're coming from with that. Now, I know James personally because I've worked with him a number of times, and his communication, work quality, everything is superb. So if you know anybody in the future, like I said, make sure you share, tag, comment in any of these. Make sure you get his contact information so you're not regretting it if you do wake up with anything. But like I said, I appreciate you being here, so thank you very much.